Hi guys, it's Shane Knight again, and today I'm just going to be going through a nice simple list of my top 10 favourite Formula One drivers. These aren't the drivers I consider to be the best drivers, just the ones that I find to be the most enjoyable, the ones that I would follow with the most interest, the ones that I just like the most. Now, they are like not all of them are the best drivers. I will admit that. I started watching Formula One in about the mid 2000s, 2003, 2004 time was when I started really watching Formula One regularly as a young kid and being truly interested in it. So as a result, a lot of these drivers will be from the early 2010s and that sort of era and more modern. There are no 80s and 90s drivers, no Mansell, no Senna, because I didn't watch them growing up. I've only ever watched them on highlights. Without further ado, getting into the list. Number 10 is George Russell. He's a rising British star. He looks exciting. His weekend with Mercedes was one of those moments where you were just willing someone to win. For once, we wanted the Mercedes to work and the British guy in it to win. And it was just exciting and it was heartbreaking to see it go wrong for him. Other than that, I was really impressed with how professional he's been at Williams, not complaining about the car, keeping a really level head, and I've been very impressed with his maturity. And he does look like he's going to be the next big star of British motorsport. Following on from that is the other, in number 9 is the other young Brit, Lando Norris, who is just so entertaining off track that you can't not love Lando. He's really easy to like. He's really likable off track. He engages with his fans. He's just really good fun, and seeing him and Ricardo together is going to be very entertaining. Number 8, I have Lewis Hamilton. Um, I have massive respect for Lewis Hamilton, what he's achieved, and the driver he's developed into. Part of the reason I think I've got him lower on this list is because, in a way, I don't used to really not like his personality. When he was younger, especially, and during his first year at McLaren, I wasn't a big fan of the way he conducted himself. But because I've been watching Formula One throughout his career, you've been able to watch him grow from this really sort of bratty young kid into the most complete Formula One driver of all time. And that's an incredible thing to watch, and that's why I have to have him on my list. Number 7, I have Robert Kubica. This is young Robert Kubica, not comeback Robert Kubica. Young Kubica was so exciting to watch. He was aggressive, he was brave, he was a very entertaining driver to watch, especially in 2008 once they took out the traction control and he had the car right on the limit. It was far more entertaining to watch than some of the other smoother drivers. He was good fun and he was good in qualifying, and qualifying is exciting, so it was always entertaining to watch Robert come round for his fast lap. Number 6, we have Michael Schumacher. I fell in love with Ferrari as a very young boy, like about 6. I fell in love with the fast red cars. Michael was the face of Ferrari, and as a young boy, I was fascinated by Michael Schumacher. By the time he was a 7-time world champion, I was only 9 years old. So I didn't get to see him during the peak of his career, but when he came back, I still wanted him to do well because I remembered watching him in his last season in 2006 and just wanting him to win. He was the first Formula One driver I ever really, really followed. And that was the start of my loyalty to Ferrari. And as a result of that, you'll see a lot more Ferrari drivers appear on this list. Next, we have another Ferrari driver, Felipe Massa. Again, Felipe is so likable. It was heartbreaking when he lost the title in 2008, and it was crushing to see. And I was so disappointed that he wasn't really the same driver after his accident. But it was really heartwarming to see him come back into the sport and see him still trying. And his big farewell in Brazil in 2016, the first time it happened, was incredible. I've never seen anything like that in Formula One where a driver gets that kind of send off. It was beautiful to see, and you can see how much the Brazilians love Massa, and it's so easy to understand why when he was just such a likable guy. Number 4, we have Nico Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg's one of those ones where it's sort of, I used to, in the early years of me watching Formula One, sort of keep an eye on the rookies to see what they came on. And I saw Hulkenberg win GP2 and then go to Williams. It's like, oh, maybe he's on for good things. Then he took that pole in Brazil in 2010. I was like, okay, he's really on for good things. Had a year out, came back, was very, very good. And it became like everyone else, we just were willing him to get that podium and it never happened. And as a result, he's now really likable for that. Everyone just rates Hulkenberg. It's weird. He's uniquely popular. Number 3, I feel like everyone has to have this guy in the top 3, especially in Australia, is Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo is hilarious. He is fantastically good value on and off the track. On track, he's great to watch. He's late on the brake, he's aggressive, he will overtake anyone, he's quick. He's phenomenally good value on track. And then off track, he is willing to do so much stuff that just makes you laugh. Pranking people in interviews, messing around in press conferences, the whole Shoei celebration where he was systematically trying to kill off many celebrities and then stealing the Mercedes account to do the social media. That was absolutely hilarious. Number two, again, a driver who's become very popular of late is Sebastian Vettel. Vettel is likable because he brings a very human aspect to Formula One. He's down to earth, he's connected, he's really understandable and sort of relatable. He's not egotistical, he's not arrogant, he's cool, he's intelligent, I suppose a part of it is he's also into similar music to me, like he's into the heavy metal. And I think a lot of the thing that did wonders for Vettel as a likability is when he went on Top Gear and roasted Jeremy Clarkson for a little bit. That made him a lot more likable to a lot of people outside of just Germany, where in Britain especially he's seen as the enemy because we, like, for some reason hate the Germans still. No idea why. But he's just so human and lovable, and everyone likes him. And especially after his treatment at Ferrari, even more people like him. And I liked him at Red Bull. I really liked it when he came to Ferrari. I was gutted he could never win a title with Ferrari though. A few people that haven't made my list, so Fernando Alonso, I never really, like, so he was the enemy as a Ferrari fan for so long, and then he came to Ferrari, and I still hadn't really gotten over the whole race fixing scandal, which he allegedly didn't know anything about. And his attitude at McLaren was just, a lot of it set me off. And then I didn't find it as funny with his radio messages at McLaren. I understand that he had that venomous passion that people like about Alonso, but it seemed sort of counterproductive to what the team were trying to do when they were pushing on. And it's not like with Vettel's passionate radio messages where he's giving himself crap or singing or crying on the radio. That's more understandable rather than just screaming GP2 engine at your engine supplier's home race. That was less entertaining for me. Now, my favourite Formula One driver, and I feel like a lot of people look at this, is Kimi Raikkonen. Kimi is just so cool. He just doesn't care what anyone thinks about him. He's so laid back. He's always good value in press conferences for everybody watching, but not if you're asking the questions, because you don't get complex answers out of Kimi. But it's great value for us watching. He's so to the point, so direct. And as a younger driver especially, he was so exciting on track. And I don't think a win has made me as happy to see as when Kimi took that win at Austin in 2018. That made everyone in my house smile. Even the guys that weren't Ferrari fans were just like, you know what, fair enough. The Hamilton fans in my household were celebrating Raikkonen's win because of how popular it was. Kimi is that guy. We love him because he's the exact opposite of Vettel. Where Vettel's really human and down to earth, Kimi's sort of alien. He doesn't show off his emotions. He gets straight to the point. He's hilarious on team radio. He's just got everything to make a likable Formula One driver, and that's why I'm always going to love Kimi Raikkonen. Other than that, thanks for watching. More serious content will come soon. This was just a really easy video to make. Till next time, I've been Shane Nye.